before I dive into energy and how to manipulate it, because ultimately your ability to manipulate energy is directly correlated to your ability to manifest whatever it is that you want in this lifetime. So this is a really, really important skill and knowledge and understanding to have, because you're a creator. You can't help it. That's who you are. So you might as well be creating what you want. And as we understand how this works, then we can be more effective in that. But I have a couple of announcements. So the first one is Bob Blockages and I are doing a 3-part series healing session. These are live healing. Bob is an incredible healer. He's like, you know who Joe Vitale is. He's worked with him. He's the real deal. He's really amazing. And there's going to be one healing session on health, another one on abundance. So the health is obviously the body, abundance is on the mind, and then there will be one on relationships, on the heart. And he has several methods about how he does this. We come together in group, we bring the things that we need healing for, the blocks and limitations we want released, and he works his magic, and we let those things go. People experience, instant healings on these calls and things like that. So what you need to do is you need to keep your eyes open on my social media for when I release the registration for those. It'll be in my bio on Instagram. There'll be like my Linktree thing. You can go in there, you can get it signed up there. And on Facebook, I'll be posting it in my group, things like that. Worst case scenario, message me and I'll get you the information. So that's one announcement. The other announcement is this Saturday, I am running an all-day online event on mastering your sexual energy. I have guest speakers. The main, feature speaker is Amanda Bickham. You can look her up on social media. She teaches all about how, your pleasure, your ability to experience pleasure is correlated to your ability to have a successful business. And there's complete 100% direct connection between your sex energy, which is your creation energy, which is Kundalini, and that flowing through you and and connected to abundance for you. So money flowing to you, relationships, love, health. We can't put these all in these separate neat little boxes. It doesn't work like that. Everything's connected. So that's kind of why I'm talking about how to manipulate energy, because I really want you guys on this event. So there's going to be Amanda Bickham. I've got Muhammad Saifi. He works with men to get out of porn and learn how to, instead of just completely depleting their life force all the time through ejaculation, is to channel that energy and master that, because when you're always losing that energy all the time, you become depleted. You're not as powerful as you could be, and not as great of a creator. Remember, that energy that goes into creating a life creates a business, creates financial success, creates a healthy body, all these kinds of things. So he's speaking on that. We've got Sarah Appelt. She's going to be talking about divine feminine and masculine energy, how that's connected with how we are showing up as our authentic selves. The more authentic you are, the more magnetic you are. And how do we heal those things as well? I'm going to be taking you guys through a couple of meditations where we're going to cut etheric cords from past lovers, stuff that's draining energy. How many people have you slept with and connected with that you still have an etheric connection to, and that energy is being drained from you? Is it any wonder you're tired and exhausted and you're influenced and pulled all over the place? We want to be sovereign. We want to cut those connections and have our energy flowing through us like this. So we'll go through a meditation, do that, as well as to heal the masculine and feminine energy, because what you've got as an example for the masculine and feminine energy in yourself is your parents. And we love our parents, and they're the most beautiful and wonderful people, but they had their stuff going on too, which necessarily wasn't the healthiest thing for us moving forward. So we need to heal that so that we can let that go in a loving and healthy way and move forward powerfully in a way that is really going to support us on this journey that we're doing. So that's all happening on that weekend. It's going to be so amazing. So good. You're going to love it. So that's the 3 healing events with Bob. We're hitting it. We're going into January with a bang. And then the sex energy event this Saturday. So you're going to see more posts from me throughout the week, links to sign up for all that kind of stuff too. But just want to make sure guys, you know what's going on. So I want to read you this quote. If you don't know who Dolores Cannon is, don't worry about it, but I would encourage you, She's quite entertaining. You might want to look her up. This is a quote from her. Everything is energy, and you come to Earth to learn how to manipulate that energy, to be a master manifester. So once you learn how to manipulate energy, you can have anything you want. Nothing is impossible. There are no limitations except the limitations you put on yourself. Okie dokie. Okie day. You came here, you're a soul. You're here to learn how to do this. You're here to learn how to create in a way that's channeled into growth and expansion, into authenticity and happiness for yourself. And like, you're playing a game. Why does anyone play a game? Life is a game. Why do we play a game? We play it to master it, to get better at it, to develop our ability to win, to like enjoy it, even just simply enjoying the journey and the pleasure of playing a game. You win some, you lose some, but you gain skill along the way, you gain knowledge, you have some fun. So a lot of us have forgotten why we're here, but your soul is here to learn this stuff, to play this game really, really well. So here is an opportunity for you to get a little bit further, like, you know, reading, you're playing your game and you're like, oh, here's a manual with some tips, or somebody put some YouTube video and like, oh, there's this hidden pathway over here that you can go in order to get to the next level. I'm giving you that, and then it's up to you whether you're going to implement it or whether you're going to dive into it further for yourself. So first and foremost, how we manipulate energy. Everything is energy. You're just a bunch of energy vibrating and moving around and stuff like that. We think we're this like solid object, but it's just a condensed energy, right? We zoom in on you, or anything around you in your environment, anything here in my room, is at the smallest level. It's protons, neutrons, electrons, which are energy. It's just like mostly space, nothingness. It's just all like on these different frequencies. It gives the appearance of being solid. So that energy, it's not concrete the way that you might think it is. You have the ability to manipulate it, whether that's your physical space, whether that's money, whatever it is for you. So you have that ability. It's just that everybody has told you you don't, or you know, you haven't been given this information. All the stuff around us, all these this energy is possibilities of existence. Look into some quantum physics stuff. Watch the documentary on Netflix, What the Bleep Do We Know? Atoms, and these particles, they behave differently depending on whether you observe them or not, whether they're being observed. Their patterns of flow and everything will change. You have so much control. I even want to say you have complete control over the reality that you're experiencing. It's just that you don't believe that you do, so then that's your reality. It has to do with what you know and what you feel. So it's your thinking and your feeling. This is how we manipulate energy. Your mind is literally this center for creation and manipulation and change and shifting and everything like that. So the better you get at controlling how you think and feel, the better you get at manipulating energy. And there's obviously, me explaining this is like I'm like a 2-year-old explaining algebra. There's people way smarter than me that can give you way more information and details about how this works, but sometimes that's the advantage, right? When we aren't genius level, we can explain things in a way, because I've had to go through this and figure it out on my own, mostly through experience, and I can hopefully explain it to you in a way that at least it's enough information, it's enough for you to grab onto, that you can at least get moving with it. So we don't have to understand every little tiny thing about sacred geometry and science and quantum physics and all this kind of stuff in order to do this. You don't have to understand how electricity works in order to plug in a toaster and make toast. So all we're doing right now is I'm going to be plug in your toaster and make yourself some toast. So how do we do this? Thinking and feeling. Because the things that you desire, the goals that you have, so you're looking ahead to 2022, you're I want to, hit this income level, I want to finally meet that partner, I want to get fit, I want to get in shape. You have these goals and stuff that are going around in your head. This is the time to be setting goals, apparently. So ask yourself, just take a couple minutes and sit down and ask yourself, why do I want this stuff? Why do I want to have a hot, sexy body? Why do I want to make $20,000 a month? Why do I want to travel to Japan? Like, what is what is it that why do you want it? And I'll give you a shortcut. It really comes down to you want to feel a certain way. You think like having that partner is going to just make you finally feel valuable and loved and cared for. That feeling, we tap into the feeling. Feeling is the word that we invented to describe the conscious awareness of the vibration that we're in, the frequency, the energy. So that feeling, this is how we manipulate. This is how we manipulate our environment, and what is like happening around us is by shifting how we feel. So if your goal is like, I want to finally attract that partner, my ideal partner this year, then what does that feel like? It feels like cozy and warm, and like I feel like sexy, and I feel like wanted and cherished. Really tune into that, like picture yourself sitting next to that person or making love to that person or going for a walk with that person and what that feels like. And then you feel it first. So visualization is a really powerful way to do this, talking yourself through it and thinking about it and going in your mind what that feel, and then you get into the feeling of it. You shift your vibrational, emotional state. This is how you manipulate. This is how you manipulate energy. And what you're doing now is you are changing the vibration that you're in. You're changing the rate that all this energy that you're made up is like vibrating at. And then the law of attraction's at work, and then that attracts to you like vibration. So if you get into a feeling of like, I'm so like amazing and wonderful and I get everything I want and I just like, I love my life and it feels so good, then you're in that frequency, and now you're attracting people, experiences, events, whatever it is that will reflect that back to you, and you'll get more of it and you'll feel more of it. And this is the master. This is the master who can do this. When you can, and easier said than done. Like, it's sure hard to feel abundant when there's only $1,000 in your bank account. I won't sugarcoat it. It's not like super easy because we're so tied to the physical, because that's how we're programmed. But you can do it if you really want to. And that is how we begin to really see a massive shift. And like I said earlier in this call, manifesting is speeding up. They're saying like about 8 times faster than it was 50 years ago. It has a lot to do with like the sun, the energy, and everything that's going on the planet right now. So we want to get ourselves on point with our vibration. You need to clean up your vibration. If you're feeling a lot of negativeness, if you're sad and fearful and frustrated and lethargic and apathetic and like worried and bitter and holding grudges, you need to clean that up as soon as possible. Because do you want more stuff like that going on in your life? Like, don't you want to be happy? I want you to let yourself be happy. I just desire for you to allow yourself to be happy, because you can have it right now. There's not something out there that's going to give it to you. It starts within. It's a choice that you make. So we want to be having tools and tricks for ourselves to help us flip switch. It's like things that you can do in the moment to kind of shift your vibration. So have some things in advance planned out for you that are like your like go-to things that you can utilize and be like, okay, when I feel like shit, I'm going to do this thing and make myself feel at least a little bit better. For example, I put on music, fun, upbeat music that I can dance around the house to if I'm feeling like a little bit low or whatever. I know that if I'm going through like, because our life ebbs and flows, and like if I'm going through a bit of a lower period where I'm having a harder time feeling on top of the world, moving into service, like going and helping someone, getting online and pouring my heart into a client or whatever, shifts me. It gets me in flow state. So I know these things. I know they're good for me. Even I can, before the call, I can be like, oh, I don't feel like doing this. As soon as I get on there and get going, I'm so happy that I'm doing that because it makes me feel awesome. I know that if I get into fear, like if that happens for me, which is super rare now, but I think it happened for me like, let's say about 4 months ago, where I felt, oh no, it was some announcement that had happened in the world, whatever. That's when I pull out my affirmations and I claim. Like sometimes I will even shout, like, I am sovereign. I am the creator of my reality. I am infinite. My life, my soul was here before this lifetime, will continue after. I'm a powerful creator. Everything is always working out for my highest good. And I will just claim that I am free. I will claim it over myself and get into that and shift that and get into that knowingness. And I'm like convincing myself, and that will shift me, and that will get me out of that state, and that fear is gone like that, because I don't want to waste my time in that space. I don't want to be in that. It's useless. It's not helping anybody. Fear doesn't help anybody. It just makes you weak and like controllable. So I don't want to be in that. So I get myself out of it. This is manipulating energy. You're continually being on top of how you are feeling and what vibration you're in. And as you continue to do this, you will spend less and less time in lower vibrations, lower frequencies, and it will be easier and easier for you to just be happy, peaceful. And you can literally just observe what's going on out there. I don't ever watch the news anymore, but like you might watch the news and see all this chaos everywhere, and you're observing it, and it doesn't pull your vibration down, because you're mastering that. You don't give your power away to somebody else. You don't give that control to someone. You don't let them change how you feel. Why would you do that? Like, you are powerful. Keep that, like, be powerful. Like, own that. Take it back. Stop giving that away to other people by letting them affect how you feel. As soon as someone can affect how you feel, they have power over you. And sometimes we like to play the victim, and we like to be like, oh, they need to change, or they do this thing to me and they're so negative and they like complain to me all the time, and then I feel bad, and these people are so awful, so therefore how can I be successful? They don't support me. And especially like that's such a big excuse with our spouse doesn't support me. So then how am I going to be able to be successful? Like, we have all these excuses where we put our power in the hands of somebody else. And it can be scary to take that power and 100% responsibility on yourself. But then once you do, now you are in control. And now you can do this. You can manipulate the energy on your terms, not on somebody else's. Isn't that exciting? Like that you would have the ability to do that, because you can do it. So keep flipping your vibration. Have your tools that make you feel good, whatever it is for you. Could be going for a walk, going outside, watching funny cat videos, whatever it is for you to make you feel good. You need to hone your vessel, this body. The better it is, the health of your body, the easier it is for you to feel good and for that energy to flow through you. So eat good food, drink good water, get some exercise, just take care of your body. And then again, I'll come back to this sex energy topic, which again, this Saturday, I'm doing an online event all day long. Well, not all day long, from like 9 Central to about 2 in the afternoon. I have guest speakers, and we are going to be explaining and going through sex energy and how you get that flowing. Because a lot of people, their energy is like, it's like, if you imagine like a snake kind of coiled at the base of your spine, it's just like hunkered down there and it's not flowing, it's not moving. We want to get that energy going up, the kundalini, the sex energy, the creation energy. We want that flow. Have you ever noticed successful people or sexual people? There's nothing wrong with being sexual. There's nothing wrong with being sensual and being magnetic and being proud of, your body, and being open with how you love yourself, how you love people, that connection, that intimacy. There's no shame in that, which there are so many people hold a lot of shame around sexuality. Ashita says, can you talk about taking care of your body physically on a call? Food, drinks, exercise, yoga. Sure. I will. Maybe next week, but possibly the week after, I could talk about physical health. So that energy, we want that flowing. We want to allow that. So are you blocked? A lot of people are blocked sexually, whether that's through trauma, whether that's through shame, whether that's just like you had a really conservative upbringing, and so you have all this sort of like dogma and everything around sexuality. So let's work through that, because the more that energy flows, the more powerful you become, the more energy you have to work with, the more magnetic you are. And I know Amanda Bickham's going to be speaking on that, like the direct correlation with the flow of your sexual energy and the success of your business and the amount of money you make. Look at, like, just observe this, observe people. There's so much wisdom that could be gained in observing people. You know, that individual is like, oh, like I just feel drawn to them. Oh, they have your attention. Why do you think that is? It has to do with that energy that's flowing. Jordan Belfort, perfect example. Super successful. The ability just to make, you know, like to kind of make someone feel like they're turned on. They're like, and turned on sexually, but like just turned on. Like you just feel something. You just feel like a draw. Like there's a movement. And we can use this energy. We can channel it into our projects, into whatever we're creating, into attracting clients, into making money, whatever it is for you. But if that energy is stagnant and you're ignoring it, you're kicking yourself in the, what's the expression? Kicking yourself in the foot is not it, because that would be difficult to do. Is it? Kicking yourself in the foot? No, kicking yourself in the butt. Whatever, you know what I mean. Happy New Year, Helen. Hey, Renzo, good to see ya. So we want that energy flowing and moving. Me personally, the way I help people with that is education and teaching. Like I get you doing certain practices and certain things to get that awakened in yourself and to release stigma and shame around that. But even just going through energetically and unblocking your sacral chakra, your root chakra for men, to like, because that's where that creation sex energy is like coming boiling from. So we want to release blockages from that, so that can flow abundantly and freely. We do it through meditation. Meditation activates that, gets that flowing, and makes you so powerful. And then as that energy flows, we have these other centers. The heart chakra opens up, the throat chakra, the crown chakra, the third eye, all these things. That energy begins to actually flow in the way that it's supposed to. You realize how shut down most people are? Like, people are shut down majorly, energetically. Like, it's just, it's like looking at like a wilted flower. Like, the energy is just not flowing. So we want, you know, like on Beauty and the Beast, where that rose is like the energy that you can see coming out of it. We want to be like this energy. This is like all the time. And when you do this, if you want to attract a partner, you stand out in a crowd. You ever notice, like, you look around a room and there'll be like one person, you're like, whoa, this is why. It's the energy. So if you want to attract money, same thing. You become a beacon for these things. If this topic really interests you, and I don't know why it wouldn't, if it does, sign up for the workshop this weekend. I think I'm charging like $37. It's a bonus for my reality hacker students when they signed up for my course. And then I was like, let me just open it up because this is so good. So it's a steal of a deal, and it's like probably going to be like 4 or 5 hours worth of stuff from incredible speakers, and it's the value that you're going to get is incredible. And I'm on that day, you will experience a transformation, because we're going to cut etheric cords for you from past lovers, and we're going to heal your masculine and feminine energy within yourself as in connected to your parents. We're going to allow that separation to happen so that you can be sovereign and move forward in a healthy way. This is how you do it. This is a piece of how you do it. You know, we continually dive deeper on this, but you can, and I strongly encourage you to pursue the knowledge of how to manipulate energy so that you can have, be, and do anything that you want and create a reality and a life that you love. You're playing a game. This life is a game. How good do you want to get at this game? It's your choice. You can kind of just go through it and then you'll die and come back and do it over again. But you might as well get really good, because you're here anyways, and you might as well have fun doing it and do a lot of good and impact a lot of lives in the process. Manipulate energy. It's like, that's why you came here. So It really comes down to how you think and feel. That's the core of it. And then all these other things support that. So let's get that energy flowing in you. Let's get you more and more magnetic. Sign up for the event on this weekend. The links will be in my bio within the next day or two. And we'll get you rolling because it's so fun. It's so fun just to like be like, think a thing, decide you want it, and then to have it happen and show up in your life. Like it almost gets kind of like, wow, like I can have whatever the heck I want and I can do whatever I want. And it's really fun to ebb and flow and create in this matrix, in this game. And as you move forward, then you get to a point where you're like, let me do a lot of good with that. And let me help a lot of people. So the more that we can get on board with that, the better. I love you guys. I'm super excited for this weekend. I got so many great things happening this month with healing, with energy and everything like that. So get involved. Set yourself up for an amazing year. Like get on track for creating an incredibly amazing, beautiful year. Stop waiting. You don't need to wait. Do it now. All right. See you guys next week. Bye, everyone.